job site delivery, will call pickup, and GSA scheduled contract, the Home Depot makes it easy to get all the maintenance and construction supplies you need. They also accept government purchase cards for your convenience. Tyson Foods, feeding you like family. E2C Hawkeye, that and much more. But if you will look to your left, smoke is on as this L-39 Arrow takes off. Alan Smith is on the roll. This is the Albatros, Russia's standard trainer. It continues to be the L-39. More than 2,000 of these aircraft were delivered to the Soviet Union between 1973 and 1989. It's powered by an Evenco AI-35 3,800 pounds of thrust. Alan Smith is the pilot. Interestingly, Alan Smith is a former naval aviator who was actually going to Penn State University and was going through a pre-med course to become a doctor. He took accelerated flight training near Penn State, getting his private pilot's license, and he became a naval aviator flying during the Vietnam conflict A-6 intruder aircraft. Now Alan's going to take this airplane all the way around, bring it back in from the right. A top speed of this airplane about 540 miles per hour, but blow it to the right. Let's take a look at this marvelous airplane. Yeah, he's quite a guy. And Alan has used his aerospace engineering extensively in building 3 home-built aircrafts and doing several major restorations. He's built a BD-5 jet, the world's smallest jet. If you remember the James Bond movie Octopussy, James Bond flew a very, very small jet through a barn. And that jet actually exists. There are those jets around here. The BD-5J was what he built, and also a Swearingen SX-300 aerobatic biplane with a 300 horsepower engine. Today, Alan Smith is Vice President of Engineering for Wyeth Pharmaceuticals in St. David's, Pennsylvania. Alan and his son Chris spent nearly 2,000 man-hours and most of 1997 and 1998 gutting this airplane once they purchased it from the former Soviet Union and completely restored it to better than new condition with all new U.S. avionics and electrical systems. That is a 1/2 human 8 maneuver. He goes up to the left, comes over the top, rolls the airplane right side up, and comes down on the 45-degree line. Back in 1936, at the Miami Air Races, the late Glenn Popey was doing a loop as part of an aerobatic demonstration, but he was going too fast at the top of the loop to pull back through properly. So rather than making a smoking hole in the ground, he did what Alan Smith did. Came over the top of the loop, rolled it a half a roll, and then did the same thing in the opposite direction, tracing a horizontal 8 in the sky. Now he was also training, Glenn Popey was also training the Cuban Air Force pilots how to fly, and they asked the announcer what that maneuver was, that horizontal 8. The announcer said, well, that's Cuban 8, and the name stuck. And so since 1936, the horizontal 8 has been known as the Cuban 8, a maneuver invented quite by accident. Now it's a staple of aerobatic performances. From the left, rolling the airplane upside down, 3/4 of a roll, and then pulling. Alan I know have some great cameras you're going to be taking pictures with. I will also tell you that there are about 100 amateur and professional photographers who are here at Oceana because this is going to be, we're approaching fast the last flights of the F-14 Tomcat. And these photographers are all part of a loose organization called Fence Check. Alan Smith now, coming in from the right. You can see his smoke. Straight and level right now. At over 350 miles per hour. Let's look at that airplane. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, a number of these L-39s became available on the open market, and a lot of warbird pilots around the country who had significant amounts of money and wanted to get into jets, particularly former military aviators, saw this as a great way to get into jet aviation without having to do it in an active Air Force or a retired Air Force military jet. These are very economical. I would say comparatively economical because nothing's cheap to fly these days. However, a lot of these jets were purchased for about $70,000 and then were crated up with the wings just taken off, crated up, brought over on a ship to America and taken to a number of different restoration places around the country. And the $70,000 would quickly grow to twice that to get one of these flying again and meet United States FAA airworthiness regulations to meet the regs to fly here in American airspace, and sometimes way more than that. And when you look at what Alan Smith and his son Chris did with this airplane, it's just an amazing restoration. The paint job you see on it is based on the Russian Black Hawk demo team, the Russian demonstration team. One version of this L-39 Albatros was actually adopted and it's an airplane that is now being used by both the Navy and the Air Force as their primary trainer. There goes Alan Smith once again. An aileron roll on the F-line. Been making some nice lines in the sky, and he'll be bringing it into land very shortly.